Hello and welcome to this mid-morning taste challenge. We have 2% alcohol, silver, clear, white rums, however you want to express it. Yeah, neither one of them is famous. I mean, I brought some famous ones in, like Bacardi Superior, and I got Captain Morgan White coming, and Juan Rico. So, I got some famous ones, but then I got these, yeah, obscure brands, but they're out there. I bought this at where did I buy this? I think I bought it at pretty sure I bought this at Savannah Discount on Louisiana Highway 45 northbound in Marrero, Louisiana. Savannah Discount. Then this is called Aristocrat Light Rum. Clear, you see. Light rum. And then it says bottled in Kentucky by Grosscurth Distilling Company. Well, yeah. If you look at the link below, I have a link to heavenhill.com. So I'll be right back. Got a little smudge on. All right. So typical color scheme for clear rum: blue, silver, and white. And this was $6.99 for the liter. I'm not joking. But I'll go into the history in a minute. All right. So anyway, here's the one I've been using every day. This is Boquerón Caribbean Silver Rum, bottled in Texas. There's the rope on the top. Now it's like a real piece of twine, hemp rope that's twisted around and tucked under. It's a real wooden cap. All right, so Boquerón, referencing Puerto Rico, but it doesn't explicitly say that it's from Puerto Rico. It could be, but then again, it may not be. But one thing we do know, it's bottled in Texas by a company called Iron Horse. And I don't know what an Iron Horse is. All right. Oh, yeah, a train. All right, anyway, I do know what it is. Maybe they're next to the railroad track. I bet you they are. All right, anyhow. This was $6.99, regular bottle. Crazy price, right? But it's a true story. And this was $6.99, regular price. But I mean, Savannah Discount, their prices might change week to week, depending on whatever they want to super discount. But Aristocrat, it's a liter bottle. I don't even know if they make 750s. I was looking I put the link below. You could look through the list. I don't see 750. I think they just make the liters, which is, I guess, what you call a bar whiskey in the rail. It's really made. Yeah, I get it. It's made for if you go to the restaurant or the bar and you say, "Give me a mojito or something." Yeah. And you're going to pay over $6.99 for something made with a little bit of what's poured out of this bottle, which I bought for $6.99. Okay, now if you think that's a good value, go ahead, buy it. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't make any difference to me, especially since your interests don't conflict with my interests, and I'm not paying for it. All right, but I did buy this, and it really was a real company. So it says Grosscurth Distillers Company, Grosscurth Distillers Company. Okay, so it was a real company, and it started in 1933. Makes sense, right? 1933. It was a husband and wife, man and woman. They never had any children. Maybe they had medical problems, or whatever. But they were foster parents for a lot of children that had whatever problems. So they did help raise a bunch of children, foster parents, and since they were a husband and wife team that owned a distillery, they donated a lot of money to the University of Louisville over the decades, 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, right? their distillery burnt down. Like this happened to Heaven Hill once too. So their distillery burnt down, and but it might have been like closed or whatever before, because the husband and wife both died in 1999 within months of each other, or even in weeks. If I read the weeks of each other. So the husband and wife, Grosscurth, died the same year, 1999. Okay, so they had no children, so there was no one to inherit the company. They didn't will it to anybody. I think they sold it to Heaven Hill before they passed on. Okay, so it's a Heaven Hill brand today. There is no distillery. It burnt down anyhow, and but this is a real company, at least from a historical perspective. It's not a real company today. There is no Grosscurth Distillers. Okay, it's Heaven Hill. All right, and they own a lot of brands, just like Sazerac, and they have a big distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky, and they have another big distillery in Louisville where they do a lot of bottling for stuff like, you know what I mean, Evan Williams, their big brand, famous brand. Maxwell says, hello, Ron. Hello to you, Maxwell. And the Russian Federation. Invasion says, hello. Hey, Ron. Hello to you, Invasion. All right. So that's the story. Because really, now I don't know much about Iron Wolf. They've been around since 2016. Hadn't seen any of their products around. Buenos sandwiches, Ron. Well, good sandwiches. Back to you, Beer Hound. Thank you. Get this thing to clear up. Clear up. Right. I saw Iron Wolf at Rouse's supermarket chain, so I bought it. Invasion says, I'm just relaxing, having me a natural light. Well, that's a good idea. Skateboarder says, good point, Ron, about the restaurants. I was at a high-end burger bar, and they had Aristocrat on the top shelf, which took me by surprise. I'm not surprised. I normally drink Miller High Life. Hey, you know, funny story about Miller High Life. I went to Walmart this morning, and I wanted to buy a Miller High Life 30-pack because I know they sell, or I knew they used to sell Miller. Oh, neoprene. This is rubber. The cap is rubber. Yeah, I know there's a lot of glare. But this is the type of rubber they use for shoe soles. You know, that spongy rubber for the bottom of your tennis shoes. It's made by DuPont. Some people say it's better than cork. I'm not a scientist, and people oftentimes ask me scientific questions. I'm like, why? I'm not trying to be rude to them. I'm saying I can't answer that. I'm not a scientist. It'd be like asking me about how to do brickwork. I'm not a bricklayer. I don't know. Okay, like I'm like, I don't know, because I don't have any information about that. All right. Went to Walmart. I said, I'm going to buy a 30-pack of Miller High Life for the rest of this summer. Well, for 2 weeks and so. All right, so nothing. All they had was 12 packs and 18 packs of bottles. I was like, I'm not buying that. I wanted a 30-pack, and they didn't have it. All I wanted was a Pepsi, and she wouldn't give it to me. So I told my friend David on the phone, I said, they don't have 30 packs. They must have changed their format, or, you know, their set, how they set their products. Oh, man. And I was like, I could get this ice beer. He's like, it's too hot for ice beer. I said, I agree. So I bought Milwaukee's Best Ice. Milwaukee's Best Ice. I wanted High Life, so I got 30-pack of Milwaukee's Best Ice for $19.99 plus tax. $19.99 plus tax. Oh, well. Miller High Life is the current champion in my lager beer battles, says Beer Hounds. I believe it. I believe it. FD says, I will never buy Bud Light or Budweiser again, even with all these great deals. Oh, yeah, due to their embracing of the socialist ideal, the world conspiratorial activity program. Yeah, I get that. Yes, indeed, Beer Hounds. Yeah, so no one told them to go to get in league with the devil, but they chose that. Ice House beer is pretty good. I agree with that. I started drinking Ice House beer in 1996. Okay. All right. I need some more of this Grosscurth Aristocrat. Do aristocrats drink this? You ever notice that all the beers with the names like Royal, not beers, liquor, but beers too, Royal, Aristocrat, Nobility vodka, Ruling Family Gin. You ever notice that those are never drunk by any aristocrat or ruling family or noble? But they try to make them sound fancy. But then you look at the bottle and it never looks fancy. It's like, yeah, that looks pretty cheap. And you're not fooling anybody, and they're not. But it's a game. It's a game. Gotta put a little bit more in there. That's it. No more is going. I'll give that to. It's a nice looking bottle. It's got a white cap. You know, I mean, it's nice. It's basic looking though. I mean, if I look at this bottle, I'm gonna say, sorry, my nose was itching. I'm gonna say, yeah, it looks like a cheap rail rum or well rum or bar rum. Okay, but then on the other hand, a lot of those are good. So you might say, oh, no one drinks well whiskey for just to drink. Well, some people do that. Some people do drink it just to drink. And it's not really that bad. I'm not saying it's great. Like Beam's 8-star. I mean, you can get a huge handle of Beam's 8-star. Handle. Big. 1,750 milliliters for $16.99. Nah, you're not going to get Jim Beam for that. Is it as good as Jim Beam? Well, common sense will tell you no, because Jim Beam is straight bourbon whiskey, right? It's not cut with any grain spirits, doesn't have any flavoring or coloring added. It's the real deal. Now, I didn't say it was the great deal. I mean, you know, Jim Beam's kind of ordinary and all, but it's, you know, you're never going to get a bad batch or anything like that. The Beam's 8-star, I don't know why they call it Beam's 8-star. Maybe you'll earn 8 stars if you got the gall to drink it. You know, if you can push yourself to drink it, you earn 8 stars, bonus points for courage or something. But I can get it in this town. But I ain't going to pay what those people want. They are out of their minds. Those people, I'm not going to name them, across the highway. It's like, I wanted to tell them, Sahib, why would I pay? But I didn't tell him anything. But I want to say, why would I pay that kind of price for a half bottle of Beam's 8-star? And I can go 2 parishes over when I'm in town the next time and get a whole handle for $16.99. And then, you know, what do you think? I'm crazy? And I wanted to tell him, you ain't selling it. It's the same 3 bottles been on in your little cabinet, your little display case forever. But you can't tell them anything. They're not going to listen. You know, it's like talking to those cans. Go ahead, keep it high. Keep it high price. Keep it a high price. And Crystal Palace, keep the Crystal Palace gin raised real high in price, and still nobody's going to buy it. Because I don't know anybody would be looking to track down Crystal Palace gin. Oh, maybe for $6 a bottle. It's been on the market since 1934. I never heard anybody say, oh, look what I found. They're not going to say it like that. They might say it like, oh, look what I found. You know what I mean? No, I mean, all right, anyway, let's look at the comments and then we'll go on. Ice House is solid. It'll get you right. FD says, they say Ice House was America's first ice beer. Yeah, it was the first mass production ice beer, correct. It started in Japan and in Canada. Yeah, Ice House hit the market in 93, and then everybody wanted to have an ice beer all of a sudden. They had Schlitz Ice, dog. I have a can of that. Schlitz Ice, Pabst Ice, National Bohemian Ice, if you can believe it. But they all faded away and died out because then the ice beer craze faded. You know, it's like one of those things where, like, for 3 years, everybody was, I gotta go get my ice beer. And then it faded, and now there's only a few left. No big deal. Crown Royal. Bullet bourbon whiskey is my favorite whenever I'm not drinking beer. I have a bottle of Bullet rye. I got it real cheap. Bullet rye. I mean, I got it like really cheap. Like it's a regular size bottle. I'm not kidding. But that'll be a later video. But I mean, when I tell you the price, you're gonna be like, "You lying?" I'm not. No, I ain't. Don't call Walmart. Everything went ice for a while, and then Bud tried the dry phase, and that failed. Yeah, dry. You remember that? Why ask why? Say Bud Dry. I used to like Bud Dry up until it was discontinued in 2010. Uh, the main reason I liked it because I could get a 12 pack for $5.98 for years. But it was good. I'm not gonna say but it wasn't like, oh, you just gotta try Bud Dry. It's unbelievable. No, it was just like, hey, you want to drink something really cheap? Get Bud Dry. Because when it first came out, it was like a premium beer. It's like commercials on TV. It was expensive, and nobody really wanted it. So then it became all like overnight, ding ding. It was a budget beer, but that was cool with me. And then it was Discode, and then I had the Michelob Dry. I tried a 6 pack of that. I liked it. Wasn't gonna buy a second one. I wasn't paying that kind of money, But same thing. Nobody really wanted it. Beer Hounds. Bill says, Ron, do you think it would be fair to have Mickey's in my lager beer battles? I don't see why not. It's a lager beer. Everything went ice. Oh, yeah. Okay, Schlitz and Yingling, I would like to review. Yeah, Schlitz. We get Schlitz sometimes. Apparently, they brew it sometimes, and then they don't brew it. And then they brew it, and then they don't brew it. It's not a widespread thing. I guess when Miller Brewing Company has some overflow time, they'll brew it for Pabst. But then if they press for other stuff, they probably tell Pabst on the phone, we're not going to stop doing High Life to do Schlitz, okay? Nobody buys it anyway. So if we get some extra time, one night at 2 in the morning, we'll brew some, okay? And they tried to sue Miller once, saying they were giving them unfair treatment. But that was settled out of court. Miller was saying, well, how are we giving you unfair treatment? You closed down your own breweries. No one told you to close down your breweries and make contracts with us. Of course, you're going to go to the back of the line. So that got settled. So, yeah, we always get Schlitz. Now, it's been over a year now. Over one single year. Which a year would be single, right? So for over a year, we've been getting Schlitz Gold extra gravity, high gravity. It's called Schlitz High Gravity Lager. That's what it's called. Schlitz High Gravity Lager, also known as Gold Bull. I think they even said it on the label, Gold Bull. It's 8.5% alcohol, and we get 6 packs of pint cans. Now I'll repeat that: 6 packs of pint cans for $5.49. Price has never changed in a year and a half. I know that sounds crazy, but that's the truth. It's a really good tasting beer. I like it. I know it's made by Miller, 4 Pabst. I don't really care, but it's too strong, so I don't buy it. 8.5% is too much for me. I cannot take it. Okay, Schlitzen. Okay, $5.98 for a 12 pack is incredible even back then. I know, 13 years ago. Freeze distilled is another name for ice beer. That's correct. Freeze brewed. Does Pabst own Miller now? Oh, no. It's just a contract they have. Nevada and Utah have the last dry counties in the U.S. Doesn't Mississippi still have some dry counties, though? Yeah, right? Mississippi and Alabama still have dry counties, don't they? We can't have any kind of liquor in the county or beer. Now, I'm not saying people follow the law. I'm just saying they have dry county. All right. Man, Mississippi used to be an entirely dry state. Well, before I was born. Long before I was born. But Mississippi was a dry state way past Prohibition for the U.S. And if you went to any state line crossing like U.S. 61, United States Highway 65, U.S. 84, U.S. 11, U.S. 51, there's a lot of crossings. Now there's the interstate. This is right when they had started building the interstate highways. So, they weren't finished until, they weren't finished until like the last 6 years. They didn't finish Interstate 95 till a few years ago. What, 2018? I think in New Jersey had a gap. It had like a 40-mile gap in it where it just stopped, and then you had to go on other roads and start again. That's crazy, right? But it's a true story. All right, but anyway, if you cross from Mississippi into Louisiana in any of those roads, the first thing you saw, like an inch from the state line, was a liquor store, and they're still there. 1 inch from the state line, it was a liquor store, and all the people in the parking lot had Mississippi license plates. So there's your answer, and they're still there. And this, because Louisiana got a lot cheaper liquor and a lot, well, I don't know about liquor, but beer, and a lot less regulation. So if you want to look for somebody from Mississippi, go to a Louisiana liquor store right at the Mississippi state line, and on a Saturday night, and it all be Mississippi license plates. Used to be much more profound. Same thing with Arkansas and Missouri. First thing you see when you enter Missouri from Arkansas is a liquor store. And they all got Arkansas license plates in the parking lot. All right, we got to do this challenge. I picked up some Schlitz malt liquor the other day, single cans, hard to find, so I stocked up. Good idea. But I was surprised to call it now bold lager, now malt liquor on the can. I think if you turn the can on its side and look at the real small print, it says malt liquor by the legal description. I know the gold can does, the high gravity lager. If you turn the can sideways and you look, it says malt liquor, which means strong beer. So, Ron, will you send me a 6-pack of that Schlitz Gold? I'll pay for it and the shipping. Oh, come on. You're going to pay that kind of money for beer that's just average? And probably the day you get it from me, you'll turn around and go to a local store and it'll have a sign, new today, Schlitz Gold Bull, now in California. So I would not recommend doing that. It's happened to me. I mean, literally, it was like the day after I made a big announcement or some rant on the internet talking about, we can't get Gold Bull in my town. And I was making a big production out of it, all hysterical. And then I go to this local store and there it is on the shelf. I'm like stunned, couldn't believe it. So I know you want it for your channel. Okay, let's go to the thing. That's how it happens, right? When you buy something, that's when they start putting it on the shelves. That's true. I'm telling you, I never pay for beer through the mail or delivery. You say it won't arrive there. I had people, so many times people told me, you'll never see that beer in Louisiana. I'm like, really? And then there it is on the shelf. Oh, all kind of craft beers and stuff. Still waiting for Pliny the Elder, though. So, yeah. All right, here we go. Time to roll. I mean, Schlitz Gold Bull is good. Yeah, fine. But you ain't really, it's just like, it's the same old thing. You could get Steel Reserve 211, 8.1. Now, you might pull your hair out and say, oh, that stuff's terrible. It's not terrible. And anyway, it's not that much different from Schlitz Gold Bull. Strong. If that's your thing, you want to drink strong 8% or higher beer, go ahead. But I can't deal with it, which is why I drink rum. I know. But have you ever been approached by a beer or liquor company to review their product for free? Yes, I have. First thing I told them, I'm not going to say it's good just because it's free. 211 is so nasty to me, I never liked it. Well, you may not like the Gold Bull. Yeah, smells grassy. It smells yeasty. That's it. Grassy and yeasty. You like grass? You like yeast? You got it. The Old English 40-ounce tastes better than 211. I mean, those are all like the same to me. Okay, I'm going to tell you all the truth. Right now, they all like the same to me. So I'm not going to sit here and pinpoint all of those high gravity malt liquors because they 90% the same and 10% or less different. To me, that's me talking. I can't answer for you. A blind PL and plenty for a 6-pack of Schlitz Go Bull. Blind Pig. Oh, yeah, I've heard of Blind Pig. That's from Russian River, too, huh? It smells sweeter. It smells sugary. So I think that's probably the Boquerón, which is kind of sugary. And I think that's the Aristocrat from Grosscurth, meaning Heaven Hill. All right, but I'm not sure. Let's taste it. Cheers. Ta-da. Oh, wait. Got to put this in the photo. There's in the photo. Yeah, I'm doing a live photo. There's the Boquerón and there's the Aristocrat. I've done quite a few Brewdog beers, even 5 a.m. Saint, which I recorded at exactly 5 a.m. Yes, sir. And they were very fresh. They are both IPAs. Yeah, I love those things. Okay, let's stick to this because we got all off track. It's very dry and it's yeasty, and you get a little grassiness. It's just very dry. Now, they said light rum, but I think it's very dry. Like there's no sweet. It's like almost devoid of sweetness, nearly devoid of sweetness. Which would appeal to many people. And if you're making cocktails, I guess probably the safer bet is to get one that's super dry, devoid of sweetness. It won't interfere with the flavors of the cocktail because it's like there is no flavor, basically. All right, taste. There's nothing bad. No, don't get me wrong, nothing bad. But all right, perfect cocktail rum. Now this one is a little bit more developed in the flavor. It's got the sugary sweetness. Get the sugarcane stalks, you get the yeast, but the lead flavor is white sugar. Like if you got it out of a bag of sugar, right? You cut open the bag and you pour it. That's what the flavor is, which may or may not appeal to you. Some people would hear this and say, "Oh, I would just gag. It'd just be too sweet. I couldn't stand it." Understandable. I get that. I have a sweet tooth in a sense. So I would like it, and actually I'm drinking it right now, so I do like it. I mean, I'm tasting. I wouldn't be drinking something at 9:45 in the morning. I'm tasting. I have enough self-control. So, personal preference issue, which is important, but it shouldn't affect the rating. Personal preference. I would rather this sweet one. Nice. Oh, so very nice. Now. But for the people that the film operator comes out this week, do you think Oppenheimer was really a communist spy? He was definitely a communist spy. Robert Oppenheimer. Okay, Ron, you are on a jumbo screen in Southern California, and all my neighbors can hear you. Well, that's good. And what they need to hear is this. You California people, y'all need to hear me right now. And I am unanimous in this. If you like a dry rum, and millions of people do, silver rum, clear rum, this might be one for you. Aristocrat. It won't cost you a lot, but on the other hand, you probably can't find it, which would more or less defeat the purpose. Okay, I just stumbled across it. Now, California, get ready, because I'm coming at you live. If you like a sweeter rum, the Boquerón silver might be one for you. The only problem is you probably never see it. So, aren't you glad you spent a lot of your life watching, or a little portion of your life watching a video about two rums that you'll almost never see? There's almost no chance you'll ever see these in your life. Well, that might not be a good way to build my channel by presenting it that way. All right, now, the winner is a tie. There is no winner because I don't let personal preference determine the winner. All right, like, okay, I prefer the sweeter rum. We get that, but oh yeah, they're both fine. Yeah, fine, no problem. And they're cheap. I mean, I don't want to say they're cheap. That sounds terrible. They're both value priced. They're budget friendly, let's call it. And with this JB inflation era that we live in, budget friendly sounds quite all right. So, I didn't even see if I got it right, but I'm thinking the sweet one is the Boquerón. They are dirt cheap. Come on. I mean, they are, but we try to frame things. We like to make things sound better. Uh, in other words, am I a politician? Yeah, in a sense, like a head coach of a sports team or a politician. You know how those guys are. They always saying stuff. It's all just a bunch of, you know what it is. Okay, I got it right. Yes, this is meaningful to me, man. You cannot judge me. All right, so yeah, I got it right. The only time I got it wrong was when I questioned my better judgment and start arguing with myself, like, well, maybe it's not really that. Every time I argue with myself, I get it wrong. She's not so bad. Her family is bad. She's different. Yeah, sure. Sure. Okay, Ron for president of the United States of America. I second that statement. So now he made a motion to nominate me for president of the United States of America for 2024 election, and I second it. Oh wait, can you second a motion for yourself? I'm not sure about that. Okay, maybe that's not legit. But if I am nominated, I will accept. Okay. Okay, I'll be the best president ever. Okay, but beyond that, I can't say what's going to happen. Another one right. Congrats, Ron. Thank you, FD. So thanks, everybody. Um, so I'll make a promise to you now. I got to start talking like a politician instead of doing like this with my finger, like pointing. Let me tell you what's going to happen. I got to do like these fake politicians with my thumb. Let me tell you what's going to happen. We're here in Kosovo. We're trying to help people save human lives. Um, Me and Hillary are really interested. I feel your pain. Yeah. No, but in all serious, as a comic, in all seriousness, though, I promise to you now, I promise you, if I am elected president of the United States, besides all the great things that I'll propose and carry out, I will continue to do taste challenges at least once a week. And that's a bargain. The best I've ever had. All right, so Invasion says laughing. Laughing? You're laughing at me? What am I, a clown? Am I here to entertain you? Better than the zombie in the White House now. Right. Well, yeah. No more tax on craft beer. Well, I'm not a legislator. You see, if I get elected president, I can't pass legislation. I can approve it or reject it. So I would promote it. I mean, I'm an anti-regulation guy. So, if you love the free market, if you love freedom and free enterprise and you're anti-war, this could be a guy for you for president. No more war. No more regulation. Freedom. Well, who could argue with that? All right. Free beer for hardworking Americans. Well, I'm not a socialist. What do you mean free beer? If you want free beer, then go buy it. Would the Dawn Busters be from the Pentagon or the Oval Office? Obviously from the Oval Office. Oh man, I'd be doing Dawn Busters with Vladimir Putin, King Charles III. It would be the best. The best. The best. Yeah, when you change your voice, that was funny. Laughing a lot. Yes, thank you. I can't help it. It's a gift. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks for watching this video production.